Hello, everyone. Welcome to Three Things Live. I'm so happy to be here with you. Happy to have Allison with me. How are you doing?
Good. We have been waiting for this week all summer long.
Yes, we have. We're so excited because today and all this week we're talking Jane Austen, a little bit of Pride and Prejudice. Cannot wait. Welcome to Three Things Live, where theme number 1 is something to smile about, theme number 2 is something to learn, and theme number 3 is something to discover. Let's go. Everyone, welcome to Three Things Live. I'm Kris here at my girlfriend's quilt shop, and so thrilled to be with you for another week here. We're talking a little bit of Jane Austen this week, a little bit of Pride and Prejudice. How many fans of Jane Austen are there out there? Let us know in the comments. We are just so excited because not only do we have some great projects that will inspire you and the projects we've been inspired by Jane Austen ourselves, but we also are going to take a deeper dive today into the book. Plus, you want to make sure and be here tomorrow because Cindy Cloward of Riley Blake Designs will be with us in the studio to talk about the brand new fabric line of Jane Austen that has just come out from Riley Blake Designs. But before we get started, I need to welcome my friends and cohorts here. We've got Jacki and Allison. Hello, hello. How are you guys doing?
Hey.
Do you hear a clap out there? Is this so much fun?
It is.
Yes.
What's happening? Let everyone know at home what's happening here.
So this is our 4th galas.
Yes.
And we are so excited to welcome probably half the gala ladies came in. I did a small count.
I walked.
Okay.
I said I walked in, and it was like, wow!
It's like old home week here.
It
So
was.
yes.
I know. And you know what the best part was? As soon as we came in, they were like cheering.
I know.
I
I'm
know.
like, oh my gosh!
You
that
feel
is-
so cool, right? I feel
know.
like I underdressed. I should have been wearing my fancy Oscars dress.
I know.
That's right.
Exactly.
Where's the red carpet, right?
Exactly.
I know. I just think, you know what, if my kids could see me now, right?
Right.
All right. Well, we need to have them all give a wave because we are so happy that they are with us today.
Everybody wave.
Hello, ladies. Oh my goodness, they have come
so
from
fun.
all over the country, and it's just too cool to have them be here with us.
That's
Oh
so
my
fun.
goodness, we have a really fun week planned with them, don't we?
Yes.
All right. So, how are you guys doing?
We are doing better
Yes.
than you.
It's been a little bit of a busy morning
We'll just
around here.
Take a
but
big deep breath.
We are. And you know
Inhale,
what?
exhale.
Why not? You know what? This is perfect time to talk about a really good book, shall
Yes.
we?
Yes.
So, for those of you who may be new to Three Things Live, every quarter we focus on a different book because I don't know about you, but I love to quilt, but I also love to read. It's one of my favorite things to do, right? And so when we read, oftentimes we as men and women who love books and love good books, we love to share it with others. And so today we thought, you know what is a really good book that's classic, timeless, involves, you know, a little bit of romance in such the sweetest way. And it's a timeless book, and it's, of course, Pride and Prejudice, as all of you know, by Jane Austen. And so, as I was saying, every quarter we choose a different book, and then for that week, we choose projects that were inspired by that book. So, let's get started with today's book club discussion. And I have to tell you, even if you have not read the book, perhaps you've watched the movie. Am I right?
Right, but I
Yes.
have something to say too.
Yes.
Okay.
You might not even know that you know all about Jane Austen because if
Why is
you
that?
haven't watched Pride and Prejudice, have you watched Bridget Jones' Diary?
No. I
You
haven't.
haven't? Oh
No.
my word. Bridget Jones' Diary is
Yeah?
a great movie. All right, and for those of you that are my soul sisters out there, if you've watched the movie Zombies,
Zombies.
you know all about the plot line.
Wow, we just went
Zombies?
from 0 to 100 in about 2.7 seconds.
I just want to include all people
Okay.
because this
All
is a
people, okay.
timeless book that the theme
same
goes year
story.
after year after year, and it's the same story.
Well, you know, it's kind of that timeless love story, if you will. I mean, we see it even with Hallmark movies today.
Yes,
it has the
exactly.
same
It does.
formula, right?
It does. It really does.
It definitely does. So, Allison, why don't you give us a little, recap of what the book is about?
Okay, so the book starts with Jane Austen, who represents the prejudice part of the book.
Yeah.
And Mr. Darcy, who represents the pride part of the book, and all of the Bennet sisters, because they all live in the house. Now, back in the 1800s when this was written, very few people fell in love and got married. Mostly it was arranged marriages, and it was to increase their status on the wealth calendar, I mean, so to speak.
Yes.
You
Do
know?
we see that today at all?
Never.
No, never.
Never.
I don't think we do as often as we did back, 200
Yes.
years ago,
Right.
perhaps. I hope not, at least.
Yeah. Anyway, poor Elizabeth, she overheard Mr. Darcy bad-mouthing her in the social circles at one of the balls that she attended. And so immediately she, if there was any traction there was absolutely not.
Yeah.
Well, over the course of the book, Mr. Darcy falls in love with Elizabeth.
Yes.
Yes.
And Elizabeth falls in love with Mr. Darcy.
Yes.
But how do you get over having your feelings hurt, and how do you get over offending somebody?
Well, especially in that time period.
Right.
I mean, it was almost like a cat and mouse thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I'm so offended here, or I'm so offended. And I'm
Right.
like, oh my goodness.
Meanwhile,
so
she
much.
has these sisters who are
Right.
getting married to increase their social status,
Yes.
or running
Yes.
off with,
Lydia,
and-
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Mr. Darcy writes a very heartfelt letter
Yes.
to Elizabeth,
Yes.
which she takes the time to read.
Uh-huh.
All's well that ends well.
That's
And we
right.
have true love at the end of
True
Pride
love
and
Yes.
Prejudice.
Yes.
How was that for a recap?
That's
That's
actually
a-
really, really good.
That's really
I
good.
don't know. Let's go back a little bit. One of my favorite things about the book is just the relationship between the sisters.
Yes.
Maybe describe that a little bit.
Well, I think they definitely are so different. They come from the same family.
Oh,
but
yes.
they are all different, and they're all out for the kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Elizabeth is very, I don't know what's the word for her. She is
Prim, proper, straight.
prim and proper,
But
and
she
wants things to
But
go.
she is also very forward-thinking.
Yes,
She's a
and
true
intelligent.
feminist.
And she's intelligent, and I kind of get the idea that the younger girls were just so excited, just to boy crazy, actually. So
Yes,
it's
they
kind of
definitely
what,
were.
Yes,
They definitely
yeah,
were.
but they really stood up for each other.
Yeah, they
you
did.
know, and they really
They
had
did.
each other's backs.
But then
Yeah.
they had to, because
Yes.
their mother.
Their mother was
They're
crazy.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I think a lot of us can relate.
Yes.
Mom, I love you.
I know.
You're
I
not
was gonna
crazy.
say, I am not going to say this on air. Right.
No. But yeah.
Yeah, Mom was crazy. She was probably more in love with the idea of the girls being married off than anyone else, right?
Oh. Right.
Because again of the social status, right?
The very beginning.
Yeah.
Yes. And they knew that there were no boys in this family,
Yeah.
and so that for them to keep their inheritance, they had to marry someone to keep it in the family.
Right.
Interesting. I'm looking at the comments, and Marcy said that the best part was when Elizabeth stands up to Lady Catherine in the end.
Yes.
Yes, I like that as well. She was she had a strong head on her shoulders, didn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. She definitely did, and she knew what she wanted, but she was not. She kind of stood on her own 2 feet. didn't
She wasn't going to settle.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
I think
Yes.
so, which I think is great.
Agree. Dee says in the comments that I feel that Lizzie and Darcy both exhibited pride and prejudice throughout the book. I would agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, it was kind of aloof for him to judge her so quickly, at the dance, and then he, says what he says to his friend, and she overhears that. I mean, I thought, well, how dare he,
Right.
just
But she made
Think
a quick
about that.
judgment herself.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he made a quick judgment. She made a quick judgment. So I would agree with that, Dee, that there definitely was Pride and Prejudice from both sides, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's amazing that does not happen
Yeah.
here, right?
Right.
Now, this time.
Yeah, for sure. Another favorite fondness that I grew throughout the book was for Dad. Okay.
Yes, wasn't he a sweetheart?
He was a sweetheart. Tell us a little bit more about him.
Well, I think that he was also a forward thinker, and I think that he just absolutely loved and wanted the best for his daughters and was willing to let them be themselves and kind of make the choices that they wanted to do, and he was very supportive of them as well.
Yeah, definitely, just as a father would, right? And he was giving advice and
Right.
things like that. So I love that. Which character for you guys? And I'd like to know in the comments at home too. I want you to think about this question: who do you perhaps relate the most to, and who do you become the most frustrated by? Okay, interesting question. Think about that for a moment. Who do you relate the most to in the book, and who do you become the most frustrated by? I'll tell you a personal experience, and it could go on and on, but I will, in a nutshell, I had to laugh because when Mr. Darcy finally came around and he said, Elizabeth, I'd really like to, how did he put it? What's the word? I can't think of the word, but anyway, he had a very proper word for this, and he said, he wanted to, start
Court
a
her,
relationship
yeah.
with her, court her, right? And I just had to laugh because she said no, right? At first it was no. I felt like I was her because Mike is going to kill me. But when we were dating, that was the very same thing, very, very similar thing that happened. We were actually at a dance up at Utah State University, and I looked at him and I thought, oh, he is so cute, right? And he had asked me to dance, and we had a great dance, and we were just standing there talking afterwards, and another girl came by, and right in the middle of us talking and having a conversation, he just turns around and he starts talking to her, and he goes off with her. I was like, what? What just happened? So didn't see him for the rest of the dance. He comes back around, let's see, a few days later, and because he was coming over to see my sister they had a mutual friend, and they were sharing pictures and stuff. And I thought, you know what? I am not going to act like I'm excited to see him. So I had my sweatpants on, my hair in a ponytail, and he comes up and he goes, oh, hi, Kris. And I'm like, oh, hello. He goes, are you staying? I said, no, I'm out of here. And I was so rude to him. Well, needless to say, of course, the story has ended in a very happy ending, but thank goodness. And like I said, if he's in the comments, I'm sure he's going to give his side of the story, but it's fine. You know what? He doesn't have the mic right now, so
He didn't write the
too
book,
bad
did
for
he?
him. Exactly. And
Yeah.
so it was one of those things that I just laughed when I was reading the book because I thought, yeah, I'm a little bit like Elizabeth, I think, for good or for bad. So anyway, what about you guys? Was there a character you related to?
I think maybe Jane would be someone that I would relate to.
Interesting. Why is that?
Well, I'm not like Elizabeth where I'm just gonna, be obstinate and forward. And I think I see Jane as someone just taking how it comes, and her heart was broken.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I love that. It's interesting. I'm looking at the comments, and Diana, she actually introduces to us some characters that we didn't even really talk about yet. So let's pull that post right there. Okay. Diane said, I admired the uncle and aunt who, while being the only tradesmen, they worked well in so-called society. Lydia drove me crazy. I know it was, I forgot. Let's see. Okay, I know it was exaggerated for the sake of the story, but what a character.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would agree with Diane on that for
Yes,
sure. So
with Lydia.
Lydia was one of those little spoiled brat.
Exactly.
Social
Right?
climber.
You never, no matter what you said to her, she was going to do whatever she wanted to do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Karen shares that she loves that book. And Marilyn said that she related to both Jane and Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in
Yeah.
different ways,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Who are you most frustrated by?
Well, I think that I was probably most frustrated. Gosh, that's so hard with Lydia. I mean, with
Yeah.
the social climber of her and the spoiled and just, I don't know. I know too much, I guess, to know how the ending is going to work out. And because I was an English major in school, I know a lot of the back history with Jane Austen. And
Yes.
so very autobiographical. This book was so autobiographical. I mean, did you know that she was in love, but she was in love with a gentleman who didn't work well enough in the social standing, so she was not allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she was proposed to, and she accepted the proposal, but then the very next morning she's like, oh, never mind. And then she lived her life very lonely.
Isn't it interesting?
So, so
we're going to share a little bit more about her personal life throughout the week as well,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
that is very, very interesting. And kind of how she weaves those themes a little bit into all of her stories,
Right.
really.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Well, and what's so amazing to me is that it really didn't become popular until after she had died.
yeah.
yes,
People
that
didn't
is
really,
so true.
and I thought, that's kind of sad.
Yeah,
that
that
she
is
didn't get the notoriety
Yeah.
that she deserved
Yeah.
while she was still alive.
Yep.
So as we end our book discussion today, which I could go on for
Yes,
a long time,
right.
in fact, we would encourage you, for those of you at home, if you haven't read the book, to give it a try, give it a whirl, or even watch the movie. My personal version, the 6-hour movie. I'm just saying, I
do
love
it.
Colin Firth in that. But it's one of those books that's so timeless, and I think that the best way of ending our discussion today would be, let's fill in this blank, and I want you to do it at home as well. Fill in this blank. Pride and Prejudice is so, it's lasted through the test of time today, from 200 years ago, because blank. Why do you think Pride and Prejudice has lasted for all these years? That story has been told for all these years and has been made in so many different movies as well. Why is that? What's the because? What do you think?
I
Because
think
it's
it
real
because
life.
it resonates.
I mean, I says it's the same, even though it's back in the different time period. Same things happened today, and history repeats itself in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I really quickly, too, had a grandmother who was actual royalty. In fact, Houghton Castle in England is where she came from. And she made the sorry mistake of falling in love with the wrong gentleman and would not reveal who the father of her child was. And so because she could not marry well, she was disowned and put on a train here to the United States and actually founded Promontory. So, I mean, it resonates in our family because it actually happened.
Yeah.
Sable says in the comments that emotions still exist.
Yes.
And that's one of the
Yes.
reasons why. And that Susan said human nature does not change.
It doesn't.
And Dee shares that because the human situation hasn't really changed all that much. And Jill shares that it's just relatable.
Yes,
Right.
it's
So
true
it's
because it happens.
So fun.
It happens.
I love
And
that.
pride
Yeah.
goeth before a fall. We're all
So-
victims of
We
pride
are.
in one way or the
My
other.
We are.
Okay, well, here's my beautiful copy.
I know.
I
so
gotta
pretty.
tell you, it's like if you go on Amazon or into your local bookstore and look for Pride and Prejudice, you're going to see so many different covers. This is the one I absolutely fell in love with
So
because
pretty.
it's so gorgeous. Look at the gold
gold.
leafing. Oh, so beautiful. But it's one that we highly recommend here at My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop. I hope you'll stick around with us all this week as we talk about more projects that were inspired by this book and share a little bit more about the journey of Jane Austen herself. All right, friends, we hope you enjoyed today for theme number 1. Jacki and I are going to head on over to the sewing table for theme number 2, and Jacki is going to share with us something that is also timeless. Now, to some of you, it may be a dirty word, but don't you worry one bit. One of the things that we were inspired by from, Elizabeth and her sisters was, guess what? they were all hand stitchers, weren't they? And so we're going to head over to the sewing table, and Jacki is going to share this beautiful needlebook with us. I can't wait for you to see. And then be sure to stick around for theme number 3, because I'm going to share with you another personal experience of my own that I had recently that changed the way I view handwork. That's right, changed it all the way around. All right, we'll be back right after this. We would love to invite you to be a part of the Stitch Your Story Challenge for 2025. We're going to help you create a quilt this year that not one other person on the planet will have, because it's your story.
I wanted to leave stories for my kids.
We're asking you to create a personal 12.5-inch unfinished quilt block each month. It's according to a theme.
It's good therapy for me.
And we're going to give you different ideas throughout the year on what the theme is and what techniques you could possibly do, because really there's no right or wrong way to do it. It is all up to you and your own creativity. All your questions could be answered by watching 3 Themes live every month. That is going to be your go-to resource for everything Stitch Your Story. So please share with us your pictures, your stories, and you can do so by using the hashtag StitchYourStory2025 and hashtag MyGirlfriend'sQuiltShop. It's not too late. It's never too late. Start today and move forward, because I promise you won't regret it. Three Themes Live is where we always have something to make you smile,
Something to learn.
and something to discover. Let's go. Hi everyone, welcome back to Three Themes Live. I'm Kris.
I'm Jacki.
And we are here at the sewing table because we're actually not going to be sewing on a sewing machine, Jacki, although we are bringing in a little bit of serging,
Yes,
all right, to show you
yes.
something really cool today.
Yes.
But Jacki, what are we talking about?
Well, this is really exciting because this is something that I love to do.
Yes.
And I know that not everyone loves to do it.
Yeah.
And that is hand
Handwork,
stitching.
hand stitching. Yes, agreed.
I said some people just get really nervous and they're just like, oh, I don't want to do that. But there are workarounds.
There are.
And
Yeah,
you can still
that's
enjoy that.
That's
But
true.
we have done some fun needle books. Now,
Look at
who
this.
doesn't
This is
who
so
doesn't
sweet.
love the needle book?
Who doesn't love the needle book? I love it, even if I weren't hand stitching.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Right.
Let's take a look right down here,
Yeah.
and you can see a little bit more about this, because needlework for some can feel very intimidating, right?
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we're going to show you how easy it is, and you're also going to share with us a little bit more of something else that was inspired by Pride and Prejudice, and that is English paper piecing.
Yes.
Seems very appropriate for today.
I love English paper piecing.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun. And I've been actually doing it for quite a while, and I've learned a few things.
Okay.
And so I want to share that with you.
Let's go ahead and take a look
So
what you got.
your traditional English paper piecing, you have hexagons. That's the most
Yeah.
popular shape that you usually use, and that's what we used. That's what we used here.
So cute.
So there are different ways that you can do English paper piecing. You can actually use papers,
Yes.
hence the paper piecing.
Oh,
Right?
Was I today years old when I just learned that? Okay.
So no.
Yeah.
But there's some really cool things that are out on the market now that make it so much easier.
True, true.
All right, so the old-fashioned way is you're just taking your hexagon pieces and you're attaching them to fabric. So let me show you. I've got all of these pieces. Now this is something that you can take along with you when you're traveling. If you have lots of scraps of fabric, we're actually using, this is the Emma line from Jane Austen from Riley Blake Designs. And I'm just loving all of these different fabrics.
beautiful.
I
Very
couldn't choose. So
don't blame
I
you.
was like, okay, we'll just keep doing them. I don't have anything really in particular
Right.
that I have a project for, but you can add them anywhere and kind of embellish your own needlework. That's
Right.
what's so wonderful about this needle book, is that you're able to make it your own.
Okay.
And so
with these pieces,
Yes.
then how do we get the fabric onto the paper?
I'll show you
Okay.
how fun it is. I kept going and going. I'm like, oh, I need to save some to do on the show. So this is actually an iron-on. So this is like a stabilizer that is an iron. It has adhesive on the back of it. So I'm just going to iron.
This is going to make it so
Yes.
simple, because do you know how many times in the past I've tried my hand at English paper piecing? One of the problems is it shifts on you.
Yes, it does.
But this won't.
And no, and if you accidentally, when you're hand stitching them together and you happen to grab the paper is not easy to get out.
Right.
So when you do it with paper, you remove the paper. And I'm not very good at removing the paper.
So this stays in?
This stays in. You do not take it out.
Time saver right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a huge time saver.
So as you,
Okay.
it's a semi washable, or I guess dissolvable material. So once you wash it, then it will eventually dissolve. So you don't have to take them out.
No way.
I know.
I didn't realize that.
Yes.
Okay.
So you will
Cool.
take your you can kind of feel that there is an adhesive side on
Yeah,
them.
there is.
So you're
There's that
going to
definitely
take
bumpy side down.
take all of your fun scraps. Look at all these fun
Oh, my
scraps.
goodness.
Look at all
Ooh.
these fun
Ooh,
fabrics.
Which one? Ooh.
I don't know. That's why I cut.
I don't know.
You only
You
need
could even, you know what, how nice this is? Another reason, you can see through that.
Right.
That means you could actually fussy cut.
Right. I wanted to. That's why I kept this piece.
Jeez.
That's what I kept this piece out for.
Look at
is because now I can actually
that.
see where I
at
want
that.
to fussy cut
Oh my
that little
gosh.
piece. So I didn't cut this
That
piece.
is so
So you
cool.
would place that over the top of it.
Okay.
Okay. Then I would iron it on.
Uh-huh.
Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to cut about 1/4 inch all the way around.
Okay, so you take your iron, just press it, and then you cut.
Then you're going to cut.
And we're just fussy cut, like we're just rough cutting this,
Right.
right? We're,
Yeah,
we're not
it-
getting out the tape measure, and we're not measuring and all those things.
Unless you're me, and then I.
Yeah. I forgot who I was talking to. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
so
Tell me you did not do that. You did. Okay, never mind.
So let me tell you, you don't have to do that. You can just
I would
eyeball.
not.
You can eyeball it and do about 1/4 inch.
Yeah.
But if the whole process for me is.
I can't, Jackie, I
The
can't.
whole process for me is just relaxing. This is a part.
I don't know if I'd call that relaxing, but okay. I do not want to get out my ruler and. You're serious?
Oh well, all you have to do is this. I mean, you have to do it anyway. So then you can just use your rotary blade and go around.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Fair.
I mean, really.
Sure.
You're doing. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, I think we better stop on that one.
Tomato. 6
What?
ways to Sunday. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So anyway, with that, yes, I do cut it. You can do it that way, or
Yeah.
you can do it with scissors.
Okay.
Okay. This
All
one
right.
I did with scissors.
Oh,
Are
I'm
you happy?
so proud of you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, but you can actually fussy cut with your fabric, so you can really
Yeah.
do some fun.
I love that.
You can kind of make it really fun.
I love
so
that.
then I'm going to cut 1/4 inch all the way around. All right, and this is where the magic is on this, which I love. I'm just going to use a glue stick. And I love these glue sticks. It's a water-soluble glue stick, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. And then all I'm going to do is I am going to fold that over, and I'm going to keep going all the way around. So it's holding that perfectly.
Oh, easy.
Okay, that's why I love the glue stick. Now you could
Okay.
use a needle and thread,
I was going to say, traditionally
Yes,
we
you
would be
could.
using a needle and thread.
but all you have to do is
Oh my gosh, that's
look at
so
that.
simple.
And there gives you a nice edge there to fold over. So you go all the way around, and it holds it in place. And I'm not going to be too worried because I'm not going to take this out.
Right.
So it's just going to be.
Wow.
Look how cool that is.
Okay, that's pretty impressive, Jackie.
Okay, so look
because-
how quick I did this.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done
Wow.
with that.
Wow.
Isn't that fun?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So that was a game
The
changer. Yes.
iron-ons are life-changing.
Yes.
Okay.
If you love to do English paper piecing.
No, even if you don't love to do English paper piecing.
But it is.
Amazing, because
Yeah.
now you're going to love to do
Because
English paper
now
piecing.
you really
That was
all
so
want to try it.
simple.
You really all want to try it. Who doesn't have scraps, and who can't do it in
Right.
into a shape? You can actually take this on the go,
Mm-hmm.
and anybody that is worried, anyone can do this.
Yeah.
Even if you don't really love to do handwork.
Yeah.
So if you, there are a couple different ways, and this is what's really fun, is because you can actually,
There's a couple ways of doing what?
yes, of sewing them together.
Okay. Got
Okay.
it.
So I'm going to just kind of play this.
So we're making this
around.
traditional
Grandmother's
grandmother's
flower
flower garden.
Yes.
A timeless piece of
Yeah.
of a quilt. Yes.
Yes. Now you'll see this one. I took the paper out of it.
Okay.
And then I
Was
just
there a
I
reason
just
why you
pressed
did
it
that?
because
Just to see it?
Just to
Is it-
see how it.
But you don't need to.
No.
Okay.
I love doing this
Okay.
because it holds it in place and you're not shifting.
Okay.
And so so you can position these any way you want to, whichever you like.
Okay.
Okay, you can just do it this way. You can keep adding to it. But then you're going to a couple different ways to, I like a girlfriend's tip that you need to use a thin thread, that's fairly strong.
Okay.
A thread. So you could use like a polyester thread on this so that it's a little.
You wouldn't use cotton?
You could.
Okay.
I bet I wasn't that picky.
Okay. Really? Okay.
I'm trying to make it so that it will be appealing to all of our people that want to do English paper piecing.
Got it. Got
Okay.
it. Okay.
All right. So what I did is I am going to join two pieces together. So
Okay.
right sides together. I am going to, maybe I should have you do this. All right, so all I'm going to do is do a whip stitch using the thread. If you know how to do, you can use clips on this as well. But I'm just gonna barely take a little bite out of the top of this.
Okay.
Now it doesn't matter if I run into the stabilizer that's underneath it because
Right.
I'm not gonna take it out.
Well, and it's so thin too.
It
You
is.
don't have to worry about it.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna continue going all the way
This is so fun.
down.
Okay.
Now, if you didn't enjoy this part, I'm just gonna barely take a bite out of
Yeah.
each one. So,
Just through that fold.
yep,
Okay.
that's it. You're gonna go all the way down, and then when you open it, they're gonna be together.
Oh my goodness.
Okay?
I love this
So you
already.
can do this, you can do this all by hand, so then you don't need a sewing machine. But if you, for time's sake, or if this is something you really can't do, if your hands just don't,
Right.
do,
Yeah,
you
sometimes,
still,
some
right.
of our hands just don't work like
Right,
they used to.
right,
Right.
right. You
So
can-
What would be an alternative?
An alternative would be to sew it on.
On
So-
the sewing machine.
On the sewing
Okay,
machine.
So
let
that's
me.
what you did here, right?
Yes, I did.
Let's take a look.
So
Wow,
look at
is
this
so
one.
Cool.
I actually used my decorative
love that.
stitches and played around with those.
You know,
and
a lot
I
of
sewed
times,
it down.
a lot of times we're trying to figure out what to do with decorative stitches.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
So I wanted to try, this one is kind of a cute little decorative stitch, and then I just sewed it with a straight stitch. After I decorated that, then I just sewed it down with a straight stitch.
I love
So,
that.
I mean, it's
So
just,
perfect.
it is. So the thing I love about this is that you can make this your own. You can decorate it however you want. I used felt when I did this one, so I wanted some little scissor holders because who
So
doesn't need
cute.
little scissors when you're trying to do some handwork?
Oh, I could have used
Okay.
this
Yeah.
a while ago. Yes.
You can actually put your pins in here, your needles. You can label them of what size they are. You know how frustrating it is when you go to find a needle.
Yeah.
And you never can find mine. Mine are always
Yes.
not where I want them.
Right.
Or you can never find one.
Right.
So here you have all of it in here, depending on what you're working on.
I love how you have your clips here too.
Right. And so then sometimes you need clips and sometimes you need pins. So then you could actually put as many
Oh my
pages
goodness,
as you
yes.
wanted. So I just put put the front together. Then on the back, I decorated how I wanted. And on this very back side, I put a pocket so that I could put a spool of thread here if I wanted to. And you can just kind of decorate this however you want.
So
So let me show you on this one here. You can add a.
I'm seeing something here that
Okay.
I'm really loving.
Yes. So I didn't, I wanted to play around more with some decorative stitches. And I wanted to add a closure. So
Okay.
I actually kind of made it like ribbon. You could do a elastic with a button.
Okay,
but
Jackie, what did you do here?
All
Tell
right.
everyone, because this is beautiful.
it is really pretty. So I'm a big fan of a serger. And so this is actually done on the Applaud serger.
Wow.
So we use decorative threads,
Yeah.
and I just did it in a
How
diagonal.
fun.
And so I loved it this way because I didn't want it to cover up. So I kept it with the decorative threads.
So you're combining a little bit
Yes.
of modern
Yes.
with a little bit of more old-fashioned, right?
Right.
Okay.
But I didn't get away from the English paper piecing.
Okay.
So let me show you what I did here.
Oh, how
I
cute.
actually just put one little piece, English paper
so
piece hexagon in
cute.
the corner.
I
and
love
you
it.
can decorate it. You can put them anywhere you want. You can, whatever is your whatever needs you have, you can actually decorate it however you want.
I love that because now you have a little nod back to the, you
Yeah.
know, English paper piecing
Yes.
and the
Yes.
things that women have done for hundreds of years,
Yes.
right?
Well, I actually, these are pretty big compared to the ones I have at home. Mine are half-inch finished. These are
wow.
1-inch finished.
Yeah.
So you can even do them as tiny as a half an inch.
How fun.
Isn't that fun?
I really love
so
it.
This is
I
what
really love it.
I love this because you can use your own creativity.
Yeah.
You can make it your own, and then it's something that you love to look at. You can bring it on the go, and I'm sure people, if they see it, oh, I love your needle book.
Yeah.
And you can
Like,
start a conversation.
I made
Yes,
that.
yes.
Exactly. Okay, before we end theme number 2,
Yes.
will you show us what this machine can do?
Yes.
Because this is really, really intriguing to me.
Yes.
For a lot of us, we don't, maybe we're unfamiliar with how the Applaud serger works.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
it's not very hard. I
No.
think threading it would be the hardest for you.
And it's not.
And even then, it's
No.
really not.
No, so let's take a closer
okay.
look.
So I'm gonna. Let's turn this on. Can you? There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So we have an 8 weight. Oh, it's a 12 weight thread. Okay, and it's a variegated, which
It's a
is
little
what
bit
it's
heavier.
the same. It's a little bit heavier, and it's also variegated, so you get the beautiful colors that go with it. So this one actually does not cut like a traditional serger. It does not cut your fabric.
Okay.
Okay, it's just
It's
purely
more decorative. Yeah.
And so what's really cool about this machine is how it. Let me get. Is how it. Can you see how cool this is?
Oh my
Look
goodness.
at the wipers. It
It's
just
the
goes
wipers.
through. It's the wipers. So what it's
crazy.
doing is it's crossing back and forth like this.
Yeah.
And making a nice little edge.
Oh, keep going, Jackie. Keep going. Wow, look at that.
Isn't that fun?
Yes.
And so I just, on my needle book, I just drew lines with a water or a friction pen. And I just did a straight stitch. Okay, and that's all there is to it. Isn't that cool?
Let's take a closer look. Let's go through this camera right here and see if we can
Okay,
get enough.
can you see how beautiful that is? Isn't that a pretty stitch?
That really is.
So
and
you can go across, you can go diagonally, you can just do it. Actually, if you wanted to bind this, you could actually
Oh.
bind it
Yeah.
so the edge is closed.
Wow.
Isn't that fun?
Okay. All right. Too cool for school, as they say.
Yes.
Let's take a look right here, and you can see another up close.
Yeah.
This is so beautiful, and this thread is variegated, like you said, so
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of blending in with the felt. But I just love the look, and you can do so many different things. You could combine all kinds of
Yes.
different colors with this, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jackie, for sharing with us how we can kind of connect ourselves to a little bit more slower, more
Yes.
mindful
Yes.
type of sewing.
Yes, and it does.
I love it.
think it's a stress relief for me,
It
actually.
really is.
And it does let me, think about things that are in my life that
Yeah.
make me happy, and
Yeah.
it just is. It's very soothing for me.
Jackie, where can we get the pattern?
All right, the pattern is on our website.
There we go.
And the pattern will come, and then we also have a kit.
Okay.
So we have an option for the kit. It just has the felt and the English paper piecing.
So you can use your own scraps.
So you can use your own scraps.
Okay.
Or we are going to offer this Emma charm pack as well. So that's
Okay.
also, so that if you love these fabrics, those fabrics are also available.
Oh my goodness. Okay, very, very fun. All right, Jackie, thank you so much. That was great. I'm excited, and I hope you are inspired too to, perhaps give it a little bit of a try.
Please
So
do,
you might
just for
surprise
me.
yourself.
Really.
Exactly.
And you don't have to use a ruler.
Okay.
Okay.
Phew.
You
All
can
right.
do it
That's
with scissors.
good. That's good news.
Just so you know.
All right, everyone. We're heading into theme number 3, and in that segment, we're going to share with you a few discoveries that we've made on our end here at Girlfriends. We'll be back right after this. Hi, have you heard the news? Three Things Live is back, and last week's shows were totally buzzworthy.
We learned so many things about the amazing honeybee, and that inspired some pretty amazing projects.
How about making your own project bag, an adorable pincushion, and even a throw pillow with a message we all want to hear?
We introduced our new digital downloads library. All your downloads are stored for you in one place.
So watch Three Themes Live at 1 p.m. Mountain and 3 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Facebook, or catch up later by clicking the links below.
Then tell everyone what you learned on the Friends of My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop Facebook page so that you can find your people and see what they are making.
Three Themes Live is where we always have something to make you smile
Something to learn.
and something to discover. Let's go.
Time is precious. That's why My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop is pleased to introduce the new Roam Free collection. Simply set, snip, place, and press. Every piece is pre-cut, pre-fused, and has an adhesive backing, featuring the revolutionary applique by number system. Sewing is optional. Make each block individually. Or join them all together to make something truly incredible in a fraction of the time. Get yours today at mygirlfriendsquiltshop.com.
All right, we are back. Welcome back to Three Things Live. So cool to be able to see how this is done, right?
Yes, yeah.
And in such an easy way. The
Yeah.
iron-on papers, I mean, that's
Right,
a
that's
game
game
changer,
changer.
right?
It really is a great
I love
thing.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, for theme number 3, we're always challenged here at Girlfriends to come up with some kind of discovery. And so as I was thinking about hand stitching today, I wanted to share a personal experience with you quickly about a recent plane flight I was on. And it's this idea that I was up 30,000 feet in the air, and I got to tell you, I was feeling overwhelmed, stressed. My heart was starting to race. I had a million things on my mind, even more on my plate, it felt like. Yeah. Have you ever been in that position?
Yes.
Oh, I never have.
Never ever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was actually just a little bit frightening to me because it was getting pretty heavy as I was sitting there. I was on my way to a conference, and I don't know, just the weight of the world was on me. And you know, normally on a plane, I would try to go to sleep. That wasn't going to happen. I might watch TV, but there was nothing really good on that I wanted to watch. My computer I would normally work on, but it was up in the, you know, overhead, and I was too lazy to go get it. But in my handbag, I actually, at the last minute before my flight, I grabbed some cross stitching that I had not done for years.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought, you know, I'm just going to throw it in there. You never know if I will have time. So I looked into my handbag and I said, you know, I'm going to pull this out. And I pulled it out and I began to stitch. And I have a picture right here that shows me stitching on the plane. And I got thinking that, you know, it only took a few minutes, and you would not believe the difference that it made for me physically and emotionally. Because all of a sudden, my heart began to slow down. My thinking was now focused on something else.
Yes.
I just felt this more sense of calm, and I felt a little bit lighter. It was the craziest thing. It was so real.
Like a weight had been lifted off of your shoulder. It was almost it was a physical thing.
It was a physical
Yeah.
thing, very tangible.
Yes.
Within minutes, I could feel that in my body. And I thought to myself, I sat there and I thought, you know, there's something happening right now. And and it's something that I've shared with people over the years of like, oh, this can help you, you know, if you can, you know, get through some difficult times when you can focus on something else for a little bit, you know. I always say that things like this can make life, it doesn't make life easy, but it might make that moment a little easier, right? And so I got home and I thought about that a lot. And I then said to myself, you know what, there's got to be science behind this. There has to be science behind this. So sure enough, I did a little bit of research, and yes, there are studies after studies after studies about this very thing.
Yes.
And so I put together just a little handout for all of you. It's a download that you can print out and have as a copy for your binder. You're welcome to share it with friends, your quilting friends, whoever it might be. And I call it The Science of Calm. And I want to share with you just a couple of quick things from it. First of all, the relaxation response. Okay, it says that repetitive rhythmic motions like stitching can trigger the relaxation response. It's the body's opposite of stress mode. Heart rate slows, breathing steadies, and your body shifts into a calmer state.
Crazy.
Have you felt
Yes.
that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. I
Well,
think
there's
it's why
science.
all of us like to sew and
Yeah.
do handwork or read
That's
or
right.
other things.
Well, you know, and I love to be at my machine, but we can't take our machines with us.
Right.
Right.
You know, wherever we go. They're not very portable. And so, you know, being able to do something like that by hand was really eye-opening to me. Another thought that I read about, mindfulness and flow. Okay, it's talking about getting into the flow. And it says here that hand sewing keeps your hands moving in a slow, deliberate rhythm that anchors the mind in the present. And it's similar to meditation.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. I
Wow.
completely
Can
agree.
you see
Yes,
that?
yes.
And psychologists call this flow. When you're absorbed in an activity that is engaging but not overwhelming.
Wow.
There is real science behind this. So I just found the whole topic fascinating. And that was my discovery. I hope that what I've shared, perhaps you can relate to as well. And we'd love to hear your stories about how you've related to that very thing in your life. So if you have a story to share with us, we would love to hear, and make sure and post it on our Friends of My Girlfriends Quilt Shop page. It's a private page. And we would love to hear about it and have us all together think about how handwork and how being present in what you're doing can truly help you in your life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's good.
So
well,
that
when
was
we
my
think
little
of
discovery.
handwork, it's not just with a needle and thread. You know, crocheting.
Yes,
you could even draw. Those kinds of things as well.
The coloring books.
Yes, the
Yes,
coloring books.
coloring
That's
was
another
great.
thing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I just started piano lessons again, and just last week my piano teacher was saying that there is science behind
Yeah.
playing the piano.
Yeah. So the things that we
Agreed.
do with our hands.
Agreed. It's really incredible. I love it. It lowers your cortisol. I mean, so many fascinating things. So I just wanted to be able to share that with all of you today.
That's awesome.
That was a great discovery.
That was a great discovery.
It was interesting.
Well-
It was really interesting to myself because I thought, why has it taken me so long to actually give myself that gift?
Right.
Right. We've all known it.
Yeah.
You know, we feel
Yeah.
differently when we do those kinds of things, but now you just
Now you can
put
say,
it down.
I'm going
Yes,
to my
I know this
sewing room
is-
for science.
yes.
There you go, exactly.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Yes.
All right, friends. Well, before we leave, we want to share with you some of our favorite
Oh.
things that we just brought in.
Speaking of discover.
Yes.
So, Allison, why don't you walk us through some of
Okay,
this?
so we have been busy looking at all the fun things. First of all, I want to share with you
This is so cute.
this little teapot. So I'm gonna like kind of lay it on my side.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody needs a teapot, and you might not drink tea, but
It's not.
it's a pincushion.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness,
gosh!
that
So
is
you can
so
keep all your
cute.
notions in here, your
So
pincushion.
this just flips right over and
Yes,
sits
so-
right there, and then you can have your little pins in there. Okay,
Isn't that darling?
So
That's
sweet.
adorable. I love that. Very, very fitting
Yes.
for what we're talking about today.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
What else do we have?
Okay, so we have a couple of charms,
Oh
a
my
needle
goodness.
minder, and a bookmark,
I
all
said,
inspired by Jane
I love
Austen.
the bookmark.
Oh.
It just clips
Okay,
onto
so
your
show 'em-
page,
show 'em,
which
Jacki.
is so fun. I love this.
Oh, you're going
You
to
wanna
show
s-
us? Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Can we? We can.
Yeah, we can
go
open it.
for it.
I want to show you how
While
cute
you're
this
opening
was.
that up, take a look at this needle minder. Holy cannoli!
Isn't that
Look
cute?
at that! All those books. That is heavy.
Yes,
That is.
that is nice.
I love it, and it's got
got
all
all
of
the
her
fun.
Jane Austen's books on the little sides. I love that.
And then
Hand
we
me your
have the
hand me your
silhouette,
cute hand me your cute book.
the
your Jane
silhouette,
Austen
and this
book.
embroidery in the hoop. So fun.
So this is magnetic, but look how fun that you can use this and clamp that onto where you are reading.
Oh, so cute.
Or a pattern.
Yeah.
It's a pattern.
And there it
waist.
is.
And it
now-
has Jane Austen's signature and her silhouette on it.
so cute.
Goodness.
I love this.
Oh,
that
I
was
love
such
that.
a
That
clever.
classy.
Oh.
And it's just
You know
beautiful.
what?
That just needs
it's
to stay right on your book.
I think so. It's very fitting with the gold leaf, right?
Yes,
there.
it
Okay.
is.
I've got to have that for sure.
And then for
All right.
those of you that are machine embroiderers, and we
Yes.
have said the four-letter word to you,
Yes.
handwork, we also have a way for you to do some Jane Austen needlework. And so there is a machine embroidery, and we will have samples here. Tomorrow we are getting them ready for comments sold. So we will have samples, but there is a whole file of machine embroidery that will stitch that out, and it's just like you've done it.
It looks like cross stitch.
Yes.
It does look like cross
Okay,
stitch.
that's crazy.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed today's show. We are so excited for this week. And as we end, we just thought, you know what? There's a little gift we want to give to you. So, are you ready? Here we go. We have this designed for all of you. You can download it for free on our website. And we just
so
framed it in
pretty.
this frame. But it's a quote from Jane Austen herself that I absolutely fell in love with. And I said, oh, this is perfect. This is what we need to have for Three Things Live. It says that there is no charm equal to tenderness of heart. By Jane Austen. So go ahead and find that on our website. You can download it for free, print it out, frame it, put it up in your sewing room or your home, and it's a beautiful reminder of something so positive, which is surely
good.
what
And
we
you
need
can
today.
find that
Yes,
either
we do.
under new releases or under the As Seen on Three Things Live, both places. And everything that we have here is also both places.
Okay. All right, everyone. That ends things for us today. Before we head out, I want to make sure and remind you that tomorrow night we have a special swig night you're not going to want to miss. We're talking the brand new machines from Baby Lock, the brand new machines from Brother, and oh my goodness, I've been having fun with the Brother sublimation printer, and I cannot wait.
I can't
to
either
show you
because
the project.
I did the same
Guess
thing.
what? They're in my office.
I have them here too to show you.
I have been
Yeah.
holding strong.
We're gonna keep the rest of you waiting,
And,
but
yeah.
it's gonna
Gonna
be
be fun.
great. So
Yeah.
anyway, make sure and join us for that. It's tomorrow night at 5:30. I want to make sure 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time on Facebook or YouTube. And if you can't make it live, it's okay. It's always recorded. You can go back and watch. And we're going to be giving away 3 $100 gift cards at the end of the night. So definitely tune in for that. It's going to be a great night. All right, everyone, keep doing all the things you love, and we hope to see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.